lots of cards you can click.
Only shooting stars break the mold.
Hello everybody and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian and this deck is a very silly one. This is a Tazri and Zirda deck. This was a request from a viewer who said that they wanted to see these two used in conjunction. Tazri, if you haven't seen this Tazri yet, this is the Aftermath Tazri, has each creature you control has the ability to tap for mana. That mana is only for colors of the creature itself, and it can only be used for other abilities. You can also only use the ability if the creature has an ability, but that's not a problem in this deck because all of our creatures have abilities. You can also pay 5 mana, tap, and mill 5 cards to put all creatures with activated abilities that you milled into your hand. Okay, convoluted, yes. Now you add Zirda on top of that. Every permanent in my deck has to have an activated ability. Great. Zirda also has an ability of making something unable to block in a turn. This deck has mana dorks, some good stuff, a couple counter spells, a couple kill spells to keep you alive, and then a whole lot of activated abilities. Like a lot of them. The best cards in this deck are things that actually allow you to take this mana ability from Tazri and use it to make mana for other things. Kinnan, as an example, if you tap one of these creatures for mana, will give you more mana that's just able to be used for anything. The same thing goes for Leyline of Abundance, but this time it's green. It's a weird one. There's also an infinite mana combo in this deck using Staff of Domination and either Feyburrow Elder and, oh, where are you? Selvala, assuming you have a big enough creature. There are strange things you can do with this deck because it's all about activated abilities, including discounting activated abilities with cards like Agatha and Biomancer's Familiar. We also do have Zirda, who discounts those activated abilities, very conveniently located in our little companion zone on the sideboard, so we can bring it into play for just 6 mana. Yes, Agatha is a great card in this deck. This is also, I will say, a deck that is very reliant on a couple of haymakers to actually close out games. The big boys are Golos. Golos lets you cast things for free. And Kenrith, who lets you do pretty much anything. Hey, do you want to reanimate creatures? Great. Draw cards? Awesome. Do you want to gain life? Nice. Make your creatures bigger? Even better. Or give everything trample and haste? Sure. Scarab God's able to reanimate things, and if you're discounting that ability or tapping your creatures to help pay for it, then you're doing even more. And if you don't want to have to wait or give your creatures haste, Tyvar lets you activate abilities on the turns that creatures come into play. This deck very much feels like a pile, but it's a fun pile and it's got a theme. So we're going to take Tazri into the queue with her pet fox and we're going to activate some abilities. Niv-Mizzet Supreme! So this hand is both awesome and terrible. It has no green mana, but it has the Leyline of Abundance. I am going to keep this and believe in the heart of the cards. Leyline of Abundance will let Tazri tap for a white mana for abilities, and then a mana for anything. Oh my god, we got green mana. So I can actually get down Llanowar Loam Speaker into things like Svella. This is good. This is good. This is really good. Niv-Mizzet Supreme, by the way, as piloted by Agoraphobic Candy. This is a viewer. I just happened to match up against them. I told them, hey, just minimize the stream for a second. This lets you recast spells from your graveyard as long as they were 2 colors and you're willing to discard a card in order to do so because it gives them Jumpstart. Yay, Jumpstart! I mean, even if we didn't get that early green mana, we still would have been able to get Tazri out on turn 3. It just would have been slower. Svella's great with Agatha. Svella's great with anything that lets me use this mana for other stuff. Alright, so we've got... already got a mana ability. I think I'll Ghost for... I'm gonna go for Svella. I could have gone for Vorinclex here, since this taps 4/2. But I feel like there's removal, and I want Vorinclex to, like, be alive. Oh no, it's Faithful Mending! Yeah, it's one of those, you know, cards from Aftermath. You guys remember Aftermath, right? Maybe? Is this the first time 2 Niv-Mizzets have been in Standard? No, we've had 2 Niv-Mizzets before. So you see how you're a 5/5? You have what, hexproof from monocolored? You know what you don't have? Hexproof from me! It's got reach. It's got 1 regular forest, 1 big tappy forest. After what? After math? We doing math here? Yeah, we have 2 5-color Niv-Mizzets in Standard right now. Neither of them is amazing. Aww, Vorinclex died. When was the other time? We had the War of the Spark 5-color Niv-Mizzet. And Niv-Mizzet... I'm blanking on his subtitle. I want to say Perun. The one that's 3 red and 3 blue. It is Perun. Okay. Yeah, they came out only 3 sets apart from each other. I want to say one was not Guilds of Ravnica, the Ravnica Allegiance. That one. Imagine remembering set symbols. I know this one's Aftermath because it's goofy looking. You got rid of my way to block you. How dare you? You should play a mana rock so I can destroy it, please. Ah, the Putrefy is being recast. That's fine. Tazri's not that important. It feels really weird to be like, yeah, my commander's not that important here. Sometimes she gets you card advantage. It's just, it takes her staying alive for an extra turn and a bunch of other stuff. Is it just a control deck? Is it really? So Niv-Mizzet works good, or works best with a lot of these instants and sorceries that can be recast, which does lean very well into control. Do I want to go for free spells? Let's do it. Svella, find me something good. Alright, we got Golos. Or Nicol Bolas. Let's go for Golos. This might get countered. Okay, didn't get countered. That's good. We'll use this to grab World Tree. Yeah, they're pretty much the same card, right? Warudo. Selvala digivolves into Golos. Ah, okay. I'll drop Stomping Ground. Colgant's command, destroying my Golos. Just you wait. I'll top deck, Incubation Druid. How many gods do I have in my deck? One. I have Essica. Bringing out the Incubation Druid. I'm gonna get Zirda. Have you heard of the Zirda? Oh, we have Scarab God, too. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's a god. I'm not dead yet. It's close, but I'm not dead yet. Alright, so I have all the mana in the world next turn. Great. And now I'm hands off. What do we got? Well, Essica would give Svella and Zirda vigilance and let them tap for mana. No, Zirda's not the alternate commander for this deck. The alternate commander for the Tazri deck is Kenrith. Kenrith is just a 50 times better version of this card. As we know, they have a Dovin's Veto. Top 5, top 4. Kennen, we can activate you a couple times. Let's go for it. Very Mastermind. Deathrite Jump. You know what? It can block. Let's, spend 1 mana to get 2 mana. Do it again. Children! Die, Niv-Mizzet! I like the ley line of abundance is like, activate me. No, I'm busy. Busy activating Kennen. Ooh, Faber Elder. Go ahead and get a Loran out here. Destroy the Fable of the Babel. And I guess I could still have both of us draw a card. Let's not. So we already know that if they replay Niv-Mizzet, they will be able to deal 2 damage to my face. But can they deal 4 damage to my face? Honestly, Zirda is, like, more powerful than the Tazri. But the Tazri gives you all 5 colors. And it's not Kenrith. If you just swap Tazri for Kenrith, you have a better deck. Pro tip. Just swap Tazri for Kenrith. Maybe I'll do that for 1 game in the video. It would be funny, right? Hi. Yes, hello, I have creatures. Are you playing Casualties of War? I see you targeting things. Please don't target my Ley Line of Abundance. It's a really good card. Oh, no, they on the Doppelgang gang! So they made 2 Fairy Masterminds and 2 Fabro Elders. That's cool, that's cool, that's cool. Do I have enough damage with Ley Line of Abundance to just kill them? I think we might just swing in with everything. And buff like crazy. Or we roll them bones. Or we roll them bones. I could turn something into Golos. I can, because I have the Soul Cauldron. I don't need that. Even better. Alright, so we're gonna get our Soul Cauldron out here. We will make, we'll make, Loran into Golos. Casualties of War. Creature and land, I think, is all we got for them. Yeah, creature and land. Creature and land. Bringing out Tazri. Free Giver. Now everybody makes even more mana. Yeah, we're doing normal stuff here. Who is the Golos? You're Golos. Sorry, I forgot who was Golos. Okay, Soul of Windgrace. Grab land. They're all tapped anyway. Ivar can bring out 1 more mana. Yeah, because it can untap something. We'll have to untap this since it tapped it. That's fine. Where's Golos? Golos! Golos, where'd you go? By which I mean Loran. I'm having fun. Let me click my buttons. Oh, that's convenient. GG Niv-Mizzet. Voya, Jaws of the Conclave. This is a super aggressive elves deck, and also wolves. When Voya attacks in, you get +1/+1 counters on your creature based on the number of elves. And you get to draw cards based on the number of wolves that you control. Typically, Voya's one of maybe just 1 or 2 wolves in play, but there's tons and tons of elves, many of which help ramp to Voya. Now, Voya's, I would say, number 1 cardinal sin is that he has ward. Meaning that he's really, really hard to get rid of. Aw, they killed my little guy. That was rude. Killing my Deathrite Shaman. Yeah, why does he have Ward 3? Ward 1, I get. Ward 1 is like, hey, it's a little harder to kill this guy. Ward 3 is like, yeah, good luck. I'm a ramp deck. I'm getting this thing out before you even have 3 mana. And I'm just out here like, what do you mean? I need mana. I guess I'll just bring out Tazri, and I'm gonna set up for some blue mana next turn. Aaron did play with Voya on game nights. You know, I haven't actually seen that episode yet, though. I did DM Aaron being like, yo, I heard good things about your deck because I also made this commander. And he's like, yeah, it's a good dog. It is a good dog. Nice. We're set up for Sheoldred next turn, so that's pretty good. I will play Chip. And I'm just going to pass here. I shocked this in so I can flash in Fairy Mastermind. Okay, so in kind of good news, they're just playing Voya into an empty board, which means it's their only creature, which means it dies to Sheoldred. They have to sacrifice it. Who needs ward? I actually put in Sheoldred and Sheoldred's Edict into this deck because of cards like Narset, Voya, things that are just so hard to target. And this works out just fine. Fairy Mastermind swings in for 2. And if they do manage to draw an extra card in a turn, whether it's through like the Great Henge, Beastmaster, or Llanowar Visionary, we also get to draw a card. I've got this Biomancer's Familiar, so I'm going to use it. This is going to discount Chip's ability to cost just 1 blue. I will give Fairy Mastermind Chip as the equip, so I can start playing lands off the top of my deck. I will put Zirda in my hand and swing in with the Fairy Mastermind and Sheoldred. Doing okay. Yeah, they did not play any early elves. They kept a hand that had good removal in it. Fateful Absence, Lightning Bolt. But what they don't have are lots of elves. Now they have some elves. And my deck is not very good at dealing with decks that go wide. Well, that's not bad. Casualties of War. We are going to destroy a... Doesn't really just matter if I destroy that enchantment, but I think I still might. Enchantment, land, and creature. All the artifacts are mine. I want to destroy the Oracle of Moldiah, the enchantment, and I think actually just destroying the Stomping Ground is the right move here, since it's their only other green source other than this guy. And they are, in fact, a deck that's very green. I will play the Forest. Go to combat. And we know they got Racco. Now they have 4 mana. They're very far away from Voya. They could cast Rocco for X = 1. That would get them a Llanowar Elf. I know I didn't need to target the enchantment. That's why I said that during it. I said I don't need to select the enchantment because I'm destroying the Stomping Ground. Like people don't even listen to me. We got ourselves a Golos off the top. Agatha lets me exile... anything interesting? Deathrite Shaman. That's not too interesting. I think I'll just play Golos. Tazri out here, like, I cost 5 mana. It's just not even worth it. Be worth it in our hearts. We are going to grab a land that comes in tapped, but we'll give all of our lands, all of our colors, Love it when we have it. We have 1, 2, 3 mana. If I had a little bit more. We only need like 1 more for Golos. Oh. Essica. We're just going to play the front side. This is going to give my legendary creatures vigilance. Such as you. Don't going to prevent any damage that they can. These creatures do tap for mana. This can also be activated to draw cards, and we can tap this for mana of any color. Thanks, Essica. Sadly, you cannot put Inga and Essica into the deck because it doesn't have an activated ability. It was one of those things that made me so sad when I was building this deck. All right, they got 4 life left. I feel like we're golden, right? I'm still gonna roll them bones, though, on Golos because I have a Golos. We saw one of the cards. We got ourselves a Swords to Plowshares here. We got Scarab God. We go to combat. And we swing in with all these guys. I will bring out the swords. I will swords the Elvish War Master. Sure. I could even activate Golos again. They got themselves some extra 1/1s. Is the new frog in this deck? I don't know what frog you're talking about. So maybe? They will not go quietly into the night. That's too bad. They go to 1 life. Okay, do I have anything that would deal 1 damage here? Only to me. I was saying, I think I just activate Golos again. Play out all these creatures. We have a discount on Scarab God. We can reanimate creatures. We're good. GG. Judith, Carnage, Connoisseur. She can give your spells Death Touch and Lifelink, or just make an imp when you cast them. She's pretty sweet. She only, she takes a little bit of work to get to work, but once she starts going, she really starts going. I'm a big fan of this commander, especially if you're playing in paper. There's a lot of spells that work very interestingly with her. All right, let's see what they wanna seize from my thoughts. I feel like it's gonna be the Signet. Okay, they went for the Chromatic Lantern, so similar idea. I could either hold open for the Fairy Mastermind. I'm going to go for Arcane Signet and Thoughtseize. Turnabout is fair play, right? They got the Celestis, Tectonic Hazard, Faithless Looting. So they got some pings that they can give that. This is essentially a board wipe, which is really what they want. I'm going to drop their board wipe from their deck. Also, it would just kill Fairy Mastermind. Even without Judith. Yeah, she could be super satisfying to play. Fairy Mastermind out here like, man, we could have been drawing a card. Could have been. I'm just going to hold the Fairy Mastermind. They know about it. They saw it on the Thoughtseize. If they try to draw a card, though, like, they already know what's going to happen. I'm going to play this right into the Flick-a-Coin. Eat up that Faithless Looting. Drain 2 life from them. Play Boromir to protect. They don't really cast free spells in their deck. That's not something that Judith does. They might storm, but they're not casting things for free. Alright, so here comes Jude. Hey, Jude. Using this Mana Confluence to cast Vorinclex. We're gonna grab 2 forests. Yeah. Forests. One's regular, one's really not regular at all. Swinging with the Fairy Mastermind. They do have a land in their graveyard. They're going to cast into the fire! And I will use Boromir to protect. They can now follow up with Flick-a-Coin, if that's what they desire. They really want to get rid of Vorinclex, I think. Oh no, they're getting rid of the Fairy Mastermind. I love this. They just make an imp. This still saw them draw a coin, or draw a card. because it all was part of the same spell's resolution. So I get to draw a card. Hey, and they have enough mana for dual shot? Yo, let's go. Sure, why not? Good for them. It has plants, so it's a forest. It's a garden. Now they only have one card left in hand, but they do have a way to filter. I am going to play the Scarab God. I'll pay 1 life. And I'm being asked, what's it like to collaborate with Prof off camera? He's a big sweetheart. He's really, really nice. We both really enjoy whiskey. And it's wonderful to get to, like, have good drinks with a good friend. To answer that question, he's very nice is the short answer. Behold, Scrub God and a Whittle Elf. They're back into Top Deck City. They do have the Celestis, which they can use to discard and draw. If this dies, it will be dealing 2 damage to my face. They also gain a life off the Celestis activation. They dropped a Swamp, and what do they have? All right, I'm putting an upkeep stop here, and I didn't set it fast enough. Okay, so I missed out on some damage on my opponent. That's fine. I might grab, like, Vorinclex, Boromir, one of these in response to them doing something. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. Do I have blue, black, and blue, black? I do. So I do not need to shock this in. I will just play this as it is and hold the turn. Oh, yeah. Rakdos deck's being hellbent? Iconic. Alright, so we're going to give this Death Touch and Lifelink. The Scarab God is going to grab Boromir. It doesn't really matter, by the way, for this, because we can just bring back Scarab God next turn. The important thing is that I'm grabbing these creatures now, though. I can replay Scarab God for 5 mana next turn. I'll even be able to activate it. I do have enough mana. And I think we've got control of this game. GG, Judith. Here's the good news. Our deck has an okay opening hand. Here's the bad news. Our opponent is probably playing the, what I like to call very one-trick pony version of Lelia, the Blade Reforged. No, this is not just a cool deck about impulse draws and attacking with Lelia. It's actually a deck that's trying to cast 1 card with Cascade or Discover while Lelia's on the board, so she gets really big and attacks in. Now, what does this deck fold to? Like 1 bounce spell or 1 other piece of removal. My deck happens to not really have much of that, but we saw them just mulligan twice, so what we're going to do is we're going to grab a land. I can either go for the green-black or the, I'm going to go for green-black so I can play Essica, like the front side. We're going to seize what they thought and think what they seized. Ah, Geological Appraiser. So now what they'll have to do is they'll have to find another card. They shouldn't, by the way, concede here, because, like, I don't actually have a very good deck. They could just attack me. This will help. I have a wash away. Alright. Do I feel like just holding the counter? Probably my best move here. Since I... Actually, no, we might be able to get shouldered. Essica's front side. You're coming out here. Taps for mana of any color. Can block Lelia on her first rundown. We can also use the wash away, by the way, on, like, cascaded cards, but she would still cascade to get to it. Yeah, I was just hoping to get a land so I could, like, shoulder them. Go get him, sweaty. We take no damage. They get a land. I need also a land. Ah, that land comes in tapped. It's not a bad one, though. Go ahead and give it the draw. Nice. There's one for next turn. Just in case they drew it. Chump blockers. Actually, they don't. Chump blocker doesn't work that well since they can just cascade into the trampler. What is it? Atali's favor. Yeah, I think it was a content creator who would popularize this silly build of this deck. Now, let's go ahead and kill that Lelia. Sadly, I'm not holding up the wash away because we used our blue there. Thanks, Auto Tapper. It wanted to hold up the Delighted Halfling, but this is fine with me. We can just use Giver of Runes for now. Was it Saffron Olive who popularized this particular brew of this deck? Cute. Well, we've got some nice abilities given to us by Essica here. Take advantage of that. What do I crave? Chilean's pretty cool. They have 8 cards. They have 1 cards in the grave. Sure, Tazri. That's pretty cash. Cash money. Yeah, there's a lot of, like, one-trick pony style decks out there. This is just one of them. Destroy a creature, destroy a land. Beep, beep. Okay, nice. They get out of here. We'll do this stuff. Lelia holds to the Thoughtseize. 1 piece of removal, sometimes all it takes. Crucias, Titan of the Waves. So this deck could be an actual Crucias deck, by which I mean a deck that is built around Crucias and other cards. Or it could be a deck that's built around Crucias and 1 card. We'll find out by playing against it. Crucias is a pirate, and in your end step, you can choose to discard a card from your hand, and if you do, you get a card from your library that is either higher or lower cost, depending on what you seek, and then you get a treasure token. In this deck, they discard a land, or a cheap sacrifice ability, in order to get a little Caldera Breaker. You can tell, by the way, that this is the Caldera Breaker because they're only using basic lands. It's kind of like a tell for this deck. Like, there's no other way they would be doing that. Thankfully, I actually do have one of the pieces I want here. My question, though, is they won't be able to play it next turn. It's going to be the turn after, which means I can go for the goose this turn. Get loose with this goose. Because my plan is going to be to Cyclonic Rift a particular little critter as it comes into play. So now they have all the mana that they need for their combo. They have the card in their hand that they crave. I just have to make sure that I have 2 mana up, and I will with Golos and this Goose, because of the Relic of Legends. I could play it a little safer, though. We could go for, like, Tazri, but I think it's fine to go for the Goose. Like the Goose Golos. Yeah, we're just running into combo decks. Okay. Like, I don't know why this deck is matching into... We also matched into a ton of Paradox Engine decks. I think it's because we're a 5-color deck. Like, and we are running cards like Golos in this deck. It's just that our combination Tazri Zirda... Alright, so here comes Caldera Breaker. Caldera Breaker has an Enter the Battlefield ability that exiles all of the mountains in their deck. But if you bounce it in response to this ability, all of their mountains do get exiled. This deals 0 damage to any target. It can't be sacrificed in response. Well, it can, but it won't do anything. It won't put the mountains into play because the mountains are not in exile yet. And you win the game. Another uneventful match. Tazri and Zirda. Alisha, who smiles at death. She is a Reanimator aggro deck that is reanimating things that have a power of 2 or less, but only when you attack in and pay 2 mana. I guess I can block something early. I have some graveyard hate here. That's actually really helpful. The Act of the Soul Cauldron. And Armored Scrap Gorger is also graveyard hate. This shouldn't be terrible as a start. The problem, though, is they're going to be doing a lot of damage to us. And a lot of the cards that they're playing are things like Ravenous Chupacabra, which just kind of kill our stuff. I'll make sure I get something with a white mana source. I guess black, white, and blue. Black, white, and blue. Rafine's Tower. Bring out the Scrap Gorger. Florian, nice. Gives them a Impulse Draw based on the amount of life that I lose. Bringing out Tyvar here I think is too risky. I wouldn't be blocking this, and no matter what. So I'm just going to play Tazri. I guess exile the Bloodstained Mire out of my own graveyard. And Wooded Foothills. I'm planning to get another Triome with this. Florian attacks in. We're going to lose 3 life. So they will get to look at the top 3, and they can choose to exile one of those cards and play it until end of turn. Polluted Delta. A fellow fetcher. Very fetch. We were talking earlier about how if I were the type of person who would play Paradox Engines in decks, you could put Paradox Engine into this deck to help go near infinite with Tulane. It is not guaranteed, though. It's very much a roll them bones and hope for the best. So they got Edgar. So far, by the way, these are 2 cards that cannot be brought back with Alisha. Hold up. Hold up. This is Mardu Vampires. Alisha! Alisha, you silly goose! I think the funniest part about this is not the first time that something like this has happened. Sometimes when you are just playing Brawl, you run into people who are playing whatever Mardu commander they happen to have, whether it's the Mutate one, whether it's Alisha, because there is no Mardu Vampire commander in Arena. So we have Florian and Edgar out here just doing some damage to us because this is a vampires deck. I could have double blocked Edgar there. I think they would have killed Tulane, and I feel like Tulane might be one of my few ways to actually win this game. So we're not gonna do that. Oh no! Well, he's dead anyway. Exiled, gone forever. Can't even reanimate him. That's a shame. I got Boromir, who can give us indestructible. I think going for the 1 ring is probably smarter, though. I'll eat up that D-Spark. Yum, yum, yum. Tasty, tasty, tasty. I can't lose life. Very good. Okay, well, I can lose life. I just have protection. It's like, this, I would be paying life. Still would go down. How EDH used to be. Cards. Yep, that's a vampire dragon. I think I have 7 mana. I could technically exile the Immersturm Predator. Would I be able to survive? Sort of. Not well. We could also go for Valky and hope they have something really good in hand, but I think Tybalt's going to be a little better. They're going to go for Tibbs. We're going to exile the Immersturm Predator. This can sacrifice other creatures to make it indestructible. But it can't sacrifice itself. It also doesn't give hexproof. So it still goes away here. They might have missed that. I could have seen, like, maybe sacrificing Edgar. Nah, they just kind of goofed that up thinking it would give hexproof, because there's some similar abilities that do. It doesn't. Just indestructible. And I guess we win that game. Sort of. Let's count it. Rowan, Scion of War. The more damage they can deal to themselves, the more life they can pay, the cheaper their spells will get. Oftentimes used with big, scary burn spells, or just really powerful cards that cost a lot of mana, like Reach the Multiverse. Rowan's also a 3-mana 4/2 with Menace, which means that she can just kind of beat you up. This is a good card. I like my Rowan deck. I will begin with Ketria Triumph since it comes in tapped. The pains of a 5-color deck. We're running all the Triomes. Check it out. Bam, mana of any color. I guess we could use Prismari Command to destroy that. I don't think that would be terrible. I will just do it now. 2 damage, make a treasure. 2 damage, make a treasure. And I will actually hold up this Fairy Mastermind. There's not that much card draw in black, but just in case, I'll be ready for it. Am I willing to use this? Yes, I am, because I still have enough mana for Vorinclex next turn anyway. And now if they do try to draw a card of Black Market Connections, I'll get to draw a card too! Yay! Vorinclex coming out here. We're gonna grab 2 forests. Yep, that's definitely what these are. I'm gonna go for Sparas and... which shock do I want? One with white. Temple Garden. Sweet. Swinging in for 2. Right, card draw in black. Boom. Hey, do you want to pay 2 life and draw a card? I guess you don't pay it. You lose 2 life and draw a card. They just made a treasure. Okay, so-and-so. Where's What's-Her-Face? And the ugly one. Oh, and of course, Cheerleader. Can't forget Cheerleader. Hi, I'm making references to dated internet things. Welcome to my channel. They didn't pay the 6. No, they didn't. So we got ourselves a Vorinclex, Fairy Mastermind, Paradise Druid, and Tazri's out here saying, am I gonna actually get to come out this game? Yeah, girl, I think you are. I am going to play the Iganjo, bring out Tazri. Here comes the Halfling. I'm going to attack with the Fairy Mastermind and Vorinclex, leaving back Paradise Druid so we can use this Tail's End if they try to cast Rowan. Oh. Dark Ritual. They have 4 mana now. What are you going to do with all that mana on this board? They're gonna kill Vorinclex. Oh, man, I was gonna flip him next turn. Hey, you should draw a card. Draw a card. Boo! Storm Killing Artist out here getting thick. I fear no, dwarf, except for all the dwarves that I'm fearing. Hey! Why didn't you let me tap it for mana? Okay. Okay, game. You're gonna play Rowan? It doesn't really matter, because they would have just played it in a second main anyway. Here's Rowan! Behold! This guy! It's 2/2. Pay 6. Pay the 6. Pay the 6. It's good for Rowan. And if it's good for Rowan, it's good for you. Okay, they did pay the 6. Respect. No. You do not get to discount for 6. You only get to pay the 6. You still have 6 mana. You don't need a discount. Ooh, hot grapes. It's great with Storm Killing Artist. Makes you tons of treasures. And here I am left with nothing. Taking another 6 because they're chock full of those treasures. Bringing out Tazri. Hello, I can block. That's about it. I think I'm gonna die. How virtuous. I wish I could put Virtue of Persistence in this deck, but you know what? It doesn't have an activated ability. GG, Rowan. It's a very well-timed fear of dwarves you instilled in me. GG. Orvar, the All form. This is a changeling shapeshifter commander that I want to say copies things based on targeting them. Whenever you cast an instance or sorcery, if it targets one or more permanents you control, you create a token that's a copy of one of those permanents. Nice! Also, when a spell or an ability an opponent controls causes you to discard this card, you create a copy. Well, guess what? That's not in their hand, so it's not relevant. You know what is relevant? Having a turn 1 delighted halfling against a mono blue deck. Even though Orvar is certainly doing some sort of crazy clone shenanigans, they also probably have counter spells. Why? Because they're a mono blue deck, and it would be really weird of them not to. Turn 2, we got ourselves an Agatha. This will discount some of our future activated abilities. That's really nice with something like Nicol Bolas, who has a very expensive activated ability to flip him over and turn him into a Planeswalker. Less useful with something like Soul of Windgrace or Koma, who you don't actually discount any abilities. These are just good cards. And hey, look, a land in the graveyard! Soul of Windgrace likes this. We just have to get a third land. Or I guess survive a turn with this. They both work. All right, we got ourselves a land. Jet Mirror's Garden. I guess I'll bring out Tazri. It's uncounterable. Almost every creature in this deck, except for the mana creatures, is legendary. You got something with Flash? Oof! It's the Futurist Spell Thief! I'm a fool! That's fine. Agatha wasn't doing that much. You know what I do have, though? I got some Sody Pop. It's hot out today, by which I mean it's above 50 degrees. So I'm going to pour it over ice. Soul of Windgrace, let's go ahead and grab their Fabled Passage. And I could offer them a trade with the Futurist Spell Thief and Tazri. Tazri's not that important in this deck. I'll keep her back. Don't worry, give it a couple months and it will be in the 90s. Oh, hey, Larios. We tapped out, so let's see here. Let's go for Shuldred. Can't be countered, very important. Make them drop either the Spell Thief or the tapped Larios. I'll crack this open to grab green mana for Avacyn. Gotta have my green stuff. My good green stuff. I am noticing something, though. Our opponent is holding priority with no mana up when I cast a spell, which to me means somebody's got a Pact of Negation. You're not gonna use it, are you? GG, Orvar. I was joking earlier in the video about swapping the commanders, but I figured I would show you what this looks like. So we're going to take Tazri, throw her into the 99, and we're going to put Kenrith over here. Tazri and Kenrith, both being 5-color commanders, actually means that they both match very similarly in the queue. So let's see what we match up against and how the game goes. Teysa Karlov! Ooh. Gives your tokens Vigilance and Lifelink and doubles dying creature abilities. Well, for ones that are triggered by your permanents. If a creature dies, you get double the stuff. Ooh, Altar of Dementia. Somebody would like to sacrifice things on demand. I'm going to take a look at what's in their hand to see what kind of things they would like to be sacrificing. Bulky, take a look at those critters. Ooh. Oh. So, if I don't take the Fleshbag Marauder, they play it next turn, which makes sense. But either way, like, I think this is the right move. You take the Broodmoth to try to get them to use the Fleshbag Marauder here, so we both just sacrifice our creature, and they'll get the Luminous Broodmoth next. Ah, gosh, I love Fleshbag Marauder. Like, as a name for a creature, it's so perfect. They could also, I guess, sacrifice it in response to mill me a little bit, but I don't mind that because we have Kenrith currently set as our commander, who can, ideally, do a lot of reanimation. All right, so they're milling themselves. Probably got some good cards which they can bring back from the grave in there. You're calling him Scrungly? So, like, Fleshbag Marauder was a card that I had in some of the first decks I ever built in Magic, which means that me and my friends, when we would play Magic together, would sometimes jokingly call each other Fleshbag Marauders. Because it's a really fun name to say. Like, man, that play was such a Fleshbag Marauder play. You gross. Hey! That's my cool rock! Loran, what the heck? Okay, Loran, you might have destroyed one of my cool rocks, but what about my second cool rock? Yeah, if I had that mana, I would have used Soul of Windgrace, taken that, I almost said mountain. That's not a mountain. It's just a very red swamp. They can actually destroy it since they played the Broodmoth. Are you going to? Thank you for the card draw. Is she a Fleshbag Marauder too? Now they have a flying Loran. But at least they can't do it again, right? Alright, who we grabbing? I'm gonna go for Vorinclex over Golos, because Golos wouldn't be able to activate next turn anyway, unless I drew a land. Also, now we have a guy with reach. I will grab one tappy land. I want to make sure it has black on it, actually. One tappy land and one just a forest. I should have grabbed... Yeah, it has black and white. Good. No, I got the one I wanted. Black, white, and green, because it has to be a forest. Uh-oh, Grave Pact can force us to symmetrically sacrifice, which will get them a lot more value. Because, you know, Luminous Broodgoth means their non-flyers will come back. Do I feel like blocking? I think we block because they can sacrifice on demand anyway. Gonna get some enter the battlefield abilities here because we know our stuff is just going to die. And we want to ramp. Oh, okay. Swords to Plowshares. I'm trying to get enough mana that I can go Kenrith into an immediate reanimation, but that's 10 mana unless I get a discount. It's only 9 mana if I do something with the Scarab God. Ah, Ritual. Oh, what are you doing with that mana? Hi, Liliana. Liliana with Grave Pact is terrifying. Makes zombies and draws cards when they die. Oh, my sweet little creatures. They have up to 3 sacrifices here. 1, 2, 3. I guess 4, but I don't think they would drop the Broodmoth unless absolutely necessary. Yep, it does count tokens. Well, that's convenient. What? I'm trying to decide if I want to hit graveyards. No, because I want to bring back things from my graveyard. No, they still have a Liliana at 7 loyalty. They're gonna draw a bunch of cards here and drain me for some life. You milling me? Thank you. Got one more couple of triggers here. I wish you could choose. I still think every board wipe should always hit Planeswalkers to stop you from hiding behind them. They're humanoids too. Hey, do any of you guys know how to kill Liliana? Kenrith can give himself haste and trample to at least attack Liliana. Ooh, nice hostile. Reassembling Skeletino. Can grab a Junji with the Scarab God. Hello. Don't mind me. Doing my best. Okay, so I went for Scarab God saving himself there. Using the Brood Moth instead of the Junji to make them discard, Fleshbag Rider to make them lose more stuff, Falcon Wrath to gain some life. I figured Flying Scarab God does something, right? Ooh, spiders. They do have reach. They also have Vigilance, Lifelink. This, you know, this. Oh, and they have Menace, too. Alright, so I might want to go for Kenrith this turn. Kenrith and Haste. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so in upkeep. Jinji. Gets me a Scry. Don't have anything crazy infinite with that. Lands is good. And I did not manually tap to leave up red. Well, that's on me. It wanted to leave up the maximum number of colors. Never trust Adam and Tapperton. Nope. Yeah, it was the Stomping Ground, I believe, got tapped before Riffian's Tower. No, that's on me. That's on me. I should have done that, because it does not know about, like, activated abilities until we get to them. Oopsie poopsie. Oopsie. It's fine. Fine. The bug. Yeah, it's the bug. Nice spiders. Nice life gain. Taste is just like, hell yeah, bro. It's rules. I'm going to block Yahenni with fake Junji. And I'll reanimate something. Predator, thank you for the sub! I am going to bring back a non-dragon. A non-dragon like Thornclex. Taste and Loath with all the loyalty. Just grabbing some lands. Don't mind me. Hey, girl.
This was boring. Looks like you're on. Oh, I do love a good day.
They killed their Liliana. Nice, bro. Nice.
The generous one.
Looks like they're in end step. We survived? That's also a nice card to have. I can pay 6 for the discount. I'm just gonna double check there. Maybe I should check their hand. No. Enjoy your life gain. I also can gain life. To get this Loth right off of the board. That's why I attacked with both, knowing that they could get double loyalty. I could bring back a chump blocker pretty easily at instant speed. And I can also technically put counters on things, but then this should be fine. It's just a matter of, do they have removal in their 7 entire cards in their hand?
I will.
Okay, so what's she at? 10? We can either let her live at 1, or kill her and get kind of risky with just playing Boromir. I like Boromir and Dovin's Veto a lot more. I think that's safer. Oh, they had the skeleton that they could sacrifice again anyway. Yeah. So that's 11, 12. Wolf does not die.
My power is for annihilation. Try that again, little fly.
Double checking the lands it's leaving up. That is, in fact, the right colors. An Orzhov deck with removal? I never! Did I already play land? Yeah, I'd already played a land. I played a forest. I remember, I got it off Vorinclex. Hi, Adeline! Hunted Witness. Annie out here just myrtleizing everyone. Henny coming in for loads of damage. Oh, there's also a little baby here. I'm indestructible. I guess, Kenrith is the ring bearer. King Dad. They got some booties, because they cuties. Wolf out here just getting ready to make some spiders. Look at how many of them there are. I'm looking at, like, Scarab God, what we could take from their graveyard.
Do what I demand. I will cull the weak.
Spiders acquired.
Subservience will be rewarded.
They have 5 mana still. Tasted! No, Yahenni gets the boots. Oh, now the Baleful Mastery shows up. Alright, do I have enough? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I do. And do I believe in the heart of the cards every ding dang day? World Tree. Why does he get his own fixing? Alright, heart of the cards, what do you got? I mean, one of these was good. Artifact, creature, land, planeswalker. Artifact, creature, land, planeswalker. Am I still dead? Yeah, probably. These guys have menace. There's a lot of little dudes out here. But this was like I feel like your commander will do a lot more if you switch to Kenrith. And that's exactly what we did. Ooh, especially with Sir Conrad out here. He's Conradical. They didn't bother sacrificing to Yahenni because they know they don't need to. Alright, we will block where we can, which is to say here. Here. And, here. And then Sir Conrad laughs, cackles evilly. As we have finished off. Nice. Good game. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars. I hope you enjoyed seeing Tazri and Zirda do something. I don't actually think I activated Tazri in any of these games. I did in some of my test matches, and it's fine. It gets you some card advantage if you don't have anything else to do. If you were looking for the deck list, it is in the description of the video. And if you're looking to make this deck do a lot more, swap Kenrith for Tazri. It does just work. You can build a much better Kenrith deck around his abilities, putting things into graveyards, reanimating, and putting in even more discounts, especially if you do get rid of Zirda and instead add cards like Training Grounds, because you can't put Training Grounds in this deck. I had so many people who were like, Amy, put Training Grounds in the deck. It doesn't have an activated ability. I can't. This was also a deck suggestion. If you'd like to suggest a commander, or I guess a commander and companion combo like this one, make sure you put it in the comment section. We end up with some interesting brews. This was essentially a brewing challenge here, and some of the other commanders people have requested that I'm hoping to get to soon include cards like Yan Jansen, Inga and Essica, Lona, Dina, and maybe even Alisha. There's a lot of them, so don't worry if I named one that wasn't yours and you're like, where's mine? I have them written down, I promise. Thank you so much for watching, and have a brawlful day.